Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Canadian Starships live stream here on Saturday night. Welcome to the stream. If you can see me, if you can hear me, let me know. Leave a comment in the comment section to the side here. Let me know you can see me, you can hear me. We've already got Darth Trent here saying, hey, Andrew. Hey, Trent. We've also got Keith here. How's it going? And I think if I say, who's there?
I'm here.
Ken is here. Ken popped in during the intro, so thanks for joining me, Ken. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. I can see you and hear you.
And apparently that's what Keith says too. He can see me and he can hear me. So we are here tonight. I've got my tea, Earl Grey hot. I've already drinking a little bit of it, but I've got a whole pot of tea here, so that should get us through the live stream. Let's see. We have a Enterprise D sitting down here in the right-hand corner. That's the one we're going to be working on tonight. I think I've got that lower seam looking pretty good. So the goal tonight is to be putting, let's see, putting these things, the window masks, back on. And I think, we'll look at it tonight, but I think I'm going to probably have to redo the top saucer rim windows as well. But I need the ones that are there right now to be my placement guides for the bottom ones before I take the top ones off and redo them. So the goal is going to be put the new ones on the bottom saucer rim. Then, not necessarily tonight, but it's going to get reprimed with the gray. It's currently got the black on it. But it'll get reprimed with the gray. That'll seal all of those paint masks in because we're going to have to tape the bottom rim to clean up the top rim. And then we'll go through that process again. And then once that's done, I think the saucer, at least all the area front of the impulse engines, the seams are going to be good. There is a little bit of work that'll have to be done on the saucer just close to the neck. But there's only about, I don't know, for you Americans, there's about 1.5 inches or so of saucer rims still left to be dealt with just between the impulse deck and the neck. But the area I'm concerned about is the area with those windows. So that is the plan tonight. We've got some people in the chat.
Yes, we have Bill Bowman here. He says, I hear you fine. Gives you a thumbs up.
With a Canadian flag as his icon. Awesome.
Yes, we have Lewis. He says hello.
Now, wouldn't it be funny if Bill was from Bowmanville?
And we have Tommy. And he says, hey, guys.
Well, welcome, everybody. Bowman, I know a young photographer with the last name Bowman. Actually, a pair of brothers who do incredible videography work. And do drone stuff and all kinds of stuff too. Sure, I'm sure there's no relation, but when I think Bowman, I also think Bowmanville because I drive through there when I have to go to the in-laws' place, right? So, all right, yeah, it has been a crazy couple of weeks here. We are wrapping up, obviously, the summer. It is the last week this week with kids home for summer, so. Last weekend I did a turn and burn from Kingston to Newmarket to get kids. We got kids. We had to get our kids today from the other grandparents, and like life is just crazy right now. I mean, you're retired, right? So every day is a Saturday in the summer for you, right?
Pretty much, yes. That describes my summers.
Yeah, I am looking forward to getting back into the normal routine. I thrive in routine. And the summertime routine goes out the window. So I'm looking forward to getting back into routine. I'm also looking forward to my son being in school because he's been in daycare. So I'm looking forward to one drop off at the school bus, one and not having to worry about multiples. So looking forward to the fall hitting. The temperature's cooling. I don't know if the temperatures have broken where you are. They've broken here. Last week it was nice and cool. Comparative to the 30 to 33 to 35 temperatures we've had for the last number of weeks.
We had a number of thunderstorms and a lot of rain this past week here.
We got a little bit of rain. Not enough, but a little bit. Yeah, Bill says, no relation, and retired life is great. Working for a living is highly overrated.
It is.
Yeah, unless you're building models for your career or something like that. I'm sure that just being able to be in the shop all day would be loads of fun. All right, let's get the shop oriented and the cameras oriented here, so that you can hopefully see the work I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to raise my desk a wee bit so that it's same height as my rolling workbench, which I love having the rolling workbench. Let me pull up the camera position because I know it's not showing the saucer right now. It's showing my workbench. So we're just going to do some repositioning here. I need like a graphic that can go on screen when I say "bear with me," where there's like somebody's photoshopped me and a bear, like with a bear with its arms over my shoulder or something.
Both of you sitting on a couch or something.
Yeah, something like that, right? All right. I'm going to
change your cameras.
Change my cameras. I can zoom in a little bit. Of course, I'm doing this off screen, so you don't get the nausea ride. And the camera, the newer camera I have, I can kind of dial it in on the computer before sending it over. How's that?
That's good.
That's good. All right, now I will be moving around a little bit. Of course, you get to see that I'm wearing shorts, but that's okay. It's summer, it's hot. And my green Adidas shoes. All right, let's get the other camera in the corner there so that you can see my face and my reactions to anything that's going on. And let's grab some masks. I need masks. I've got my tweezers. And I think, apart from a refill on my tea, I think that's all we really need, isn't it?
Well, you're all set.
So the seam, how does that look on camera? How does the seam look on camera?
It looks good from here.
So the primer is showing some edges to the putty work, but I'm not really feeling it much. So once the gray goes on and the Aztec pattern goes on, that's going to kind of fade away and you won't be able to see that.
Right.
So there's a bit of a trade-off that I struggle with because I always want it to be absolutely perfect, but there's diminishing returns on how much sanding and work you do, and you have to keep in mind that a lot of what you're looking for the perfection side won't even be visible once you get the Aztec on it. So that's just something I have to keep in mind because my go-to is to just try to get it as absolutely perfect as I can. So what we're going to do is I've got window masks along the bottom. Now I'm going to grab my phone here and I'm going to do a quick close-up shot for you so you can see what's going on with this. So I just have to grab Video Ninja here.
Yeah, I actually just finished my warp nacelles for my Reliant, and I think I've got the seams all done now. So
yeah,
they turned out really good.
So you can see where the putty is, but I can't feel, like there's no edge. You can't feel an edge. So right. I really have to trust my finger on this to tell me that it's as smooth as it possibly can get. So under here, you might be able to see the window masks, and you can tell how some of them come up and stuff like that. I think I'm gonna have to redo these just to get them right. But I'm gonna use the ones that I'm gonna use these masks to place these masks.
Right, and just sort of line them up.
Yeah, and then that'll give me the placement, the correct placement, and then we'll seal them in with the gray, and then we'll clean up the top saucer.
Blair's here.
Welcome, Blair. How's it going? That's what I want. Let me refill my tea Earl Grey hot, and we'll get some masks going down.
That sounds good.
Do you have an idea how many weeks you've got left on your Reliant?
Oh, not too sure. I'm getting close to the paint stage. I'm hoping by early September I can start painting a few things. So really, that's only like 2 weeks away.
Yep.
I've got all the paints that they recommended and the formula for their thinning mixture that they use for mask designs.
Okay.
So they use distilled water, isopropyl alcohol, a little, trying to think what else, just and then a couple teaspoons of I'm trying to remember now.
And is this the craft paints?
Yes, it is. Yeah, distilled water, isopropyl alcohol, slow dry, and flow aid is what he uses. They have that that recipe up on their Facebook site.
Okay.
So
you're going with Gary's recommended paints.
yes, the blues though for the shuttle bays and the weapons pod, that sort of thing, to me they look a little light for his mixture. So I'll mix mine a little darker for those. And Will over at the Ensign's chair had recommended a few other. That looks really good.
Yeah, first couple ones are down.
He had recommended a few different color, like a different color mix using some Anita's paint, but unfortunately, Anita's is no longer produced.
Okay. So I think I am probably going to need to replace the ones on the top saucer if I want the windows to be nice, crisp, and clear. And well, the answer is I want the windows nice, crisp, and clear.
Oh, for sure. Howard's here. He says, look, it's got spots, yellow spots.
Welcome, Howard. How are you doing tonight? It's got tape covering the windows because I don't have masks in those windows yet. So just for when I was working on the rim to avoid getting any overspray onto any of the windows, I just bulk masked them.
And then Howard said, don't ask. Yeah, unfortunately, I did discover an issue, fitment issue on the Reliant earlier today. So
was it with resin parts or was it with the stock parts?
Resin parts.
Okay.
The shuttle bay part that Will had produced I had to thin it down. David James is here.
Welcome.
He says, hello all.
How's it going? By the way, I haven't heard back from Jody if he's going to be streaming tonight.
I think he's still out camping.
Oh, he's out. See, I've been kind of offline most of the week and stuff, so I don't know what people are up to.
Yeah, he went out camping this weekend.
Okay, so if he says bear with me, that's a whole other issue.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah, Howard says, I think he's camping in the rain. Yes, he showed a picture from his campsite this morning, a photo of him outside his tent there, that showed, that it was raining at the campsite.
All right, then. Well, then, if anybody knows anyone else in the modeling world that's live when we end at 11 o'clock Eastern, or in the Star Trek related world, or something like that, I'll take recommendations for people to redirect towards.
All right, we'll keep an eye out for that. Yeah, the parts I found, it's just with the light box that goes around the shuttle bay resin part, and then by the time you get lights in there, it's very almost too tight. So yeah, you gotta sand it down a little bit. So,
which makes me wonder if they're approaching the lights a little bit differently than you are somehow.
No, I'm using the 3mm lights because it's the lights are just little holes he's got in there for 3mm lights. But in reading some of Will's comments on some of my videos, he does mention that yes, a lot of the light boxes do need sanding down because unfortunately they could only be produced at so thin before they weren't really viable for printing.
Okay, well that makes sense.
So he said that's something that a person has to do is sand the boxes down a bit. So
I'm going to have to look at here. Let me move the camera over a little bit. More Enterprise, less. Oh, wrong way. More Enterprise, less my legs. When I go to do the B in Excelsior, I'll need to have designed up some light boxes for the for the cabin windows.
Yes. Howard says, I'm cleaning more garage. It's slowly going through my folks' stuff.
Okay. That can always be a challenge to do.
Well, people do acquire a lot of stuff throughout their lifetime.
And people have a hard time purging their own stuff, even when they know they should.
Yes. I did a big one before I moved here to the city.
The challenge in placing these windows is getting them placed at the right level because they don't quite go down to the edge.
Right.
But it can also be hard to see where the edge is when it's painted black like this. So the challenge is getting them in the right spot.
Is anybody else working on at their hobby bench tonight? And if so, what are you guys working on?
That's a good question.
Howard said, if you want, after stream, NSF is watching Starship being stacked ahead of Flight 11.
Oh, when is that would be NASA space flight. Do we know when the next Starship flight is?
We'll have to wait for a reply on that. I'm not sure.
I know I had cut some rim windows that were just the narrow windows, but I don't know if I still have them in the pile here. And I don't think I labeled them, so. But that looks like it's all of my white windows, so I must not have done that. I end up going through. There's more narrow windows than there are the wide square type windows on the rim.
Right.
So I had when I did this the first time, I know I had cut a section of just the narrow ones, but I can't seem to find them. But I've got a spare sheet here of all of them, so I don't think I'm going to run out. Let's see. We've got some chat.
Just popped up. Howard says, well, it's my folk stuff. My grandma's stuff, my uncle's stuff. My mom was as a hoarder. It was tough. But I'll be working on my Lich King Pack 2 later and some other things.
Very nice.
Blair says, hey, Andrew, is that dark gray on the brim the outer window color? I'm not getting why you're masking positive.
Is that dark gray on the brim of the outer window color? I'm not getting why. Okay. So it'd be tough to tell the coloring. The rim is black. And so the black goes down for the rim windows because we can't do lighting in the rim windows on this kit. It's not possible because of the way that the saucer parts go together. There's no way to get light to those or to get them opened up. So they essentially have to be off simulated. So they're the windows are well, sorry, the rim is painted black. Then they're masked. I'm masking with white vinyl just because it's going on black paint and I can see it better. Then it's going to be all gray primed. And then all the coloring will be done on the ship for the various colors. And then let me go back over to the other one here. Okay, Nausea, ride with me here for a moment. So you can see that they're masked off here, except this one has a mask pulled. So it looks pretty similar to these other windows when the lights are off. This is just a replacement. This is a replacement white mask to recover. This is a mask pulled. And I think this was the mask. This might have been a mask I pulled at Wonderfest for the tested channel. I'm not sure if that's the one, but I know I did pull like a rim window or some other windows on camera for them. So that's what we're doing. Nausea ride.
Blair says, okay, makes sense. It looks gray on my screen. You mentioned with that previous, same as studio. And Howard was saying about the launch maybe in 22 hours at earliest.
Okay. I'm hoping it goes well this time. Starship really needs a win. Hopefully I'm hoping that they go a little more conservative on their test campaign this launch, because they were pushing things to the limit last time after having some rapid unscheduled disassemblies. So I'm hoping that booster lands back at the launch site, and I'm hoping Starship gets to orbit and has a successful simulated landing. Because SpaceX could use a win, given all the negative publicity that they've had surrounding Musk.
Howard says, I love how right in the middle of someone explaining something on YouTube, they decide to put in an ad and then come back like, and that's how it works. Yes, I used to get that too, Howard, but yeah, no, I upgraded to
YouTube Premium.
Yeah, YouTube Premium, and yeah, I'm really enjoying the no ads thing.
it's a bit of a catch-22 as a creator, because you can choose not to monetize, but there's a good chance they're going to stick ads in anyway.
Right.
So if YouTube's going to go ahead and stick ads in anyway, you might as well have your stream monetized, so that at least you get the content creator gets a little bit of the benefit. Not that much, but
I still would agree with you on that. That's for sure. So is it a set pattern with those windows, like so many thin and then like a wider and then a wider?
No, doesn't seem to be.
Okay.
I just matched this as best I could to the studio model.
Howard says they're going to be doing a less angle of attack, but they are booster landing in the Gulf, but they're going to do a sim engine anomaly of engine failure and then use outer engine.
Why don't they? That's frustrating. It's frustrating me that they're doing like extra tests when they just need to practice getting the basics down first. Like let's get all of Starship working properly and then go through the outside cases, like the outlying cases. That's my opinion, but SpaceX doesn't listen to me. Blair is saying something to me. I'm just going to check what he's saying to me.
Certainly.
He's chilling out on a boat. And the name of the boat is? Any guesses?
Enterprise?
That's right.
Howard says, and they're doing, and they're going to have Ship 37 do the engine relight, the PEZ door open and dummy links spit out. So yes, same thing as before.
Yeah, they didn't get to opening the Pez dispenser door last time because of the overpressure. The overpressure that ended up in a containment breach, causing loss of control. So yeah, these windows, I basically, when I did them, I tried to replicate as best I could the patterning and positioning on the studio model. I had to take some liberties because the kit is not exactly the same as the studio model.
Right.
So I had to take some liberties. So it's as close to the way the rim windows are on the studio model as I could possibly make them, given the limitations of the kit. Which is model making at its finest, right?
That's true.
You do your best given the limitations of the kit you're provided. Whether that's a garage kit or it's a commercially produced kit. Same thing applies.
Yep. Howard says, well, they want to know about the booster, and they're using already landed booster, but it's just in case they have to do a issue, they can still land at the tower.
Oh, this will be the first reflown booster, I think.
Oh.
First reflown booster of Starship.
We'll get to see how reusable they really are.
Well, they reuse the Falcon boosters. I think the Falcon boosters have been used up to something like 22, 23 times.
Nice.
Imagine you fly an airplane, and then after you land it, you throw it away.
Yeah.
And start with a whole brand new one for the next flight. That's what spaceflight's been for years.
Howard says, I think they could land booster at the tower a lot, but they are getting to version 3 boosters next, so they don't need these older boosters, and they only got so much room there.
Yeah.
And then he says, second to reflown.
Oh, the second one to be reflown? I was up to date on all the Starship stuff before, but I'm a little bit behind now. No, I might be able to, just as I'm looking closer at the window masks that are on here, I might be able to just touch up the few that are damaged, or the few sections that are damaged. I might not have to redo the whole thing, which
that would save you some time.
Yeah, because there are a lot of good masks still on here. So what I would do is I'd pull the bad masks off, reshoot it with black, and then put new masks down. The problem with the lower saucer rim here was to get the seam work done, it really damaged the windows I had already done. So they really had to be done from scratch.
Howard says, you're behind, Andrew, the highest flown and landed Falcons 29.
Oh, wow.
And David James says, the muskness of it all makes it hard for me to root for what SpaceX is doing as much as I'd like to.
Well, the way I see it, you don't have to like Musk, but a lot of the technologies he's spearheaded are phenomenal. It's like Teslas are one of the best cars on the road. And after driving Teslas for a while, there's no way I would go back to a gas car. No way. Absolutely no way. I'm rather indifferent when it comes to Musk, but I love my Teslas.
There we go. Howard says, so how close are you getting to having this one close to the first one?
Well, the biggest seam is done. The most time consuming seam, because it's one of the most important seams, is this saucer seam. So that is done. I'll get these windows fixed. I've got a bit of work to do on the docking of the neck and the saucer. But because it's where two ships essentially dock together, it's meant to show a docking seam. But there's some leveling things I might try to do. Then I've just got the other seams, and they shouldn't take too long. The big question is going to be once I flip this over and I start looking at the neck to saucer join on the back, like the back of the neck to the back of the saucer, see how well that lines up. That'll determine to me whether it's going to move quickly to final primer or it's going to take some more time. But each of these is its own thing. So they're the same kit, but each of them breathes and lives a little bit differently to the other one. So it's hard to really know until I get into it. So that's the problem with estimations on these projects as far as when they're going to get done, because especially with these, because people haven't built these before. I mean, Lou and Phil have finished them, but I really think that they would have benefited from taking some more time. Not saying Luz didn't look good at Wonderfest. I think there's just some refinement that they could have, if they'd had more time to give to the projects, because I know they like to move on to new things, but had they given a bit more time to it, I think there's some refinements that they might have wanted to do.
Right. Howard said, you remember at first they said the booster is only 10 times, but now they're going higher, and everyone is trying to imitate the SpaceX.
Yeah.
And then he says, just wait, Musk will make the NX-01 and everyone will be gaga.
He needs to make the Phoenix first.
Although gravity plating would be really cool.
Yeah, that would solve a world of problems. That world being Mars, actually.
Yes.
Because I know Musk wants to make humans a multiplanetary species, and I think I got these windows down a little bit too low. So I'm going to replace them up a little bit. The problem is humans are not designed to be born on Mars.
No.
From a gravitational point of view. So it would be very problematic to conceive children and have them born on Mars because of the gravitation difference. If a baby was conceived was on Mars throughout the entire pregnancy, it's very likely that that child would never be able to come back to Earth for long periods of time, because they wouldn't be adapted to our.
Oh, go ahead.
They wouldn't be adapted to our gravity.
There was a movie or a TV show not too long ago about that.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember what it was though. Lewis says, how long did NASA take to build and launch the Artemis rocket? 20 years?
Oh, NASA has a whole different approach from SpaceX. NASA needs everything to go perfectly the first time because of the cost involved in what they build. SpaceX has a rapid iteration mindset, and what they're building is nowhere near as costly, which means they can also iterate faster. They can test, see what goes wrong, and it's okay if things go wrong, and make changes. And so they're able to go through the development process a lot faster than, say, NASA is able to. Although NASA does not design its own hardware anymore.
David James says, given the size, do you think this kit would work with just the two-tone TNG color scheme, or does it really need the extra paint detail from Generations?
You could definitely do the two-tone paint scheme on it. I mean, the 6-footer was originally done in the two-color scheme. Why we have the two-color scheme. That's wouldn't be a limitation of the size of the model. It would totally be personal preference of the modeler. So if you like the two-tone, go with the two-tone. If you like the 4-tone, go with the 4-tone. Now, I personally think it looks better with the 4-tone, but that's my own personal opinion.
Well, unlike the movie or TV show, in this case, all you have to look at is the ship itself.
Yeah. I think the 4-tone color scheme is much more interesting.
Yeah, more visual interest.
And the blues and grays, I think, look nicer on this ship than just the gray and green.
Although I think both would be just as fine.
Yeah. Oh, certainly no problem doing the two. Like, just personally, my personal preference would be the generations scheme.
So hope that answers your question there, David.
Really, the answer is it's up to you and what you want and what you like.
But yes, the two-tone would work well.
The 1400 that I'm doing next is a two-tone. But the 1400 I'm hoping to do for Wonderfest will be a generations paint.
Howard asks, how many tones are on the Excelsior?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Well, you have different zones of the ship. I mean, like you have your like that blue ring right on the saucer and everything, and
yeah,
I mean it's got different tones, and then the the hull color itself, like the white-ish color. Like, is that not the Aztecing kind of like the refit? Yeah, so you got at least 2 or 3 there for the white part, and then you have that blue ring underneath. That's got several colors, several tones. Same with the blue on the belly, and yeah.
Like the strong back has multiple tones to it. Just the plate, like the hull plating color has lots of tones, and it's done. There's the base Aztec pattern, and then there's all the stenciling work that goes on it, and then it really benefits from a blending coat and stuff. Amazes me that that on the 650 scale here, that Hagen was able to get this pinstriping painted and get it to look so good.
It looks amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the underside with all of the
all the variation there, different tones. So at least 3 there for sure. Oh, 4.
Yeah. Hagen knocked this one out of the park, seriously.
Yeah.
And fortunately for me, he's done all the R&D on the paint scheme. So I'll be able to benefit from his knowledge on that.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
David James says, yeah, the 4-tone is certainly more interesting, but my reservation is we only briefly see it on that way on screen.
Yeah, it amazes me that they went through the effort to completely redo the paint scheme on the Enterprise D for Generations, and it's on screen for such a small amount of time.
Yes.
And one of the shots that's on screen is a redo of is basically they stole a shot from TNG with the Enterprise before it was redone. That just boggles my mind. Some of the best shots we get of it are of the saucer crash, and that's a completely different model too. That was a huge saucer model.
Howard's asking, oh yeah, here you go. He said, I just watched the other night Nemesis. Is there a scimitar model out there?
I'm sure there's an aftermarket resin scimitar out there, but I don't know. I don't know where you would find one. Definitely going to need help on my kit then. Oh boy.
And you also asked what size is this one?
Hagen got the 650.
Blair's asking, Ken, when are you starting your Enterprise B? Can't wait to see these being built. The live stream going to be packed house. I'm basically waiting for Andrew as well. I'm going to be doing mine the same time as him.
Yeah.
Yeah. If not, a step or two behind him.
And Ken has an Excelsior.
Mm-hmm.
So
mine's the actual Excelsior.
It might be the exact same kit as what you're getting. Depends on whether you've chosen NX or NCC.
Yeah, I went for the NCC myself.
I mean, there's not a ton of difference between the NCC and the NX. The bridge is different. The impulse crystal is different. There's some differences on the back end, I think.
Blair said NX for me.
The NX? All right.
Once I get my new saucer top and whatnot, I think, I may just at some point release the odd video here and there of things being done. But, yeah, I won't be doing a full build until, like, Andrew, Are you
going to do some of the prep work ahead?
Yeah, I may do some of that.
Because you could, obviously clean the parts.
Mm-hmm.
You could do the light block coats inside, like the light block and then the white.
Right.
If that's the approach you like to do.
That'd be the one I'd probably go for. Yeah, I've gotten quite a few comments on my videos. My video of doing the opening of the kit.
Yeah.
People asking me when I'm going to start. So.
Well, I don't even have the Excelsior here yet, so. The getting this D caught up to the other one is taking more time than I had anticipated. Mostly because of how the saucer gave me hassles going together.
Right.
That's part of the process.
David James says, I was bummed out they weren't able to provide the switch out parts for the NCC and NX versions like they were originally suggested they might do. Yeah, I mean, that would have been nice, but I mean, so you figure someone's going to be going into an investment like this knowing which one they're going to do.
So if you talk to Daniel, I'm sure that they'd be willing to have some of the other parts done up for you. There would be a cost to it, but I'm sure that they'd be willing to have a set of the parts made for you. I don't know what it would cost to do that. Because the saucer, I believe the saucer itself and the secondary hull itself and the nacelles and everything, they're the same. It's the difference of the bridge, the crystal that goes on top. And I think all those parts are interchangeable on the base model. The only difference is that the saucer and secondary hull are different on the B than the Excelsior.
Right.
All right, moving this around a little bit. Let me show you what I've gotten done in the first 51 minutes of stream here. I'll do a little bit of a handheld. Here we are. Here are the window masks I've been able to get down the first little while.
Looking good.
It's tedious and time consuming because you have to make sure that you get them all aligned properly, right? So you don't want them wibbly wobbly. So that's where it's at so far. I'm at a break now. I'm gonna. There's a section with no windows, and that'll take me to about here. So I'll start Windows here again.
Oh, and I missed one of David's comments there. He said, similar to the future Enterprise D I'm working on now, they added a ton of extra detail and panel lining to the 4-footer, and it's only on screen for a minute. Yeah, with that big cannon on the bottom and everything like that.
Similar to the future Enterprise D I'm working on now, they added a ton of extra detail and panel lining. Oh, I got it. They added it to the 4-footer to make it the future one. Got it.
Right. That was in All Good Things.
Yeah. So I needed to look at that because I didn't quite catch it just from the readings. So sometimes I need to see it in print in order to catch it all properly.
I'm trying to think of the main things was like the extra warp nacelle in the center.
The phaser cannon on the saucer.
On the bottom, yeah. And then 2 up on the top. Like smaller ones on the top.
Yeah.
What else? Those are the things that stand out for me. I'm sure there's lots of other little details.
I'm curious about when Blair is going to feel confident enough to start working on his own 650 Enterprise D.
Yes. David said, sorry, I meant pinstriping, not panel lining. Actually, I've been thinking about it here lately. I think I need to order some aftermarket decals too for my Reliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
I just thinking that I just don't trust the kit ones as much.
Are they older or is it a new kit?
No, it's the newer kit, but I think the detail would be nicer if like for one of the other ones.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, I spend $40 on some decals. If they don't work out, then I'll, just switch back and forth between the kit and aftermarket or whatever.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. Blair says that the Sarah Prize, half Syracuse, half Enterprise, is going to have to wait. Skill not there, but man, it's fun to look at. Yeah. Because Blair got a copy of this kit on the secondary market for a really good price. Somebody was selling it because they wanted to buy the newer version of the kit.
Well, that newer one does. They do a good job of what they've done for improvements.
Yeah. Well, the newer one's going to be so much simpler to do. I'm looking forward to seeing it in person and seeing the improvements that they've made.
David says, that sounds familiar.
What sounds familiar?
I'm not too sure. I thought maybe he meant the name of the ship. The Sarah Prize. Part Syracuse.
Syracuse.
Syracuse, thank you. Part Enterprise.
Well, that's from...
Yeah, from Picard season 3.
Season 3. That's what Wayne over at Motion Picture Miniatures is doing for Terry Metalis. Okay, that's another block of windows done. I have another gap in the windows to skip to.
We have a new viewer commenter here. Thunder. If I may ask, how would you approach these saucer rim windows on a 1400 scale Enterprise D? Is there an equivalent set of window masks?
So one moment here. So there are some windows molded in on the bottom saucer, which I don't think my lighting's really going to let you see that, but let me...
yeah, it's really blowing out.
Yeah, let me switch cameras around here a little bit. And let's see. Let's see if I can get you a look here. So let me just... So you can see the rim windows there, but they're not anywhere near correct. Right?
Yeah, we can see them.
You can see them. They're all narrow windows. That's not what they're supposed to be like. But there are some molded in there, and I've messed up my focus for everything else here. There are no rim windows on the top of the saucer. Right?
Yeah, don't see any there. Yeah.
There's the other windows drilled out, cleaned out on there. I still haven't removed any of the detail. Just some prep I'm doing ahead when I've got time that I can't work on these. So if they're drying or curing or something I can't do work on. So basically what you have to do is the same sort of thing. If you have the clear kit, then you could throw some lighting in there. The opaque kit, not so much. But essentially, you have to do the same thing. You have to mask it off and then build up the window rims with paint for it to look right. And on the bottom saucer there, you're going to need to, on the clear kit, probably sand it down so it's smooth. On the opaque kit, you might want to opt to fill it. If it's the opaque kit, then you're going to want to do the same approach as on this one here and not just have them blacked out. If you're doing the clear kit, like I said, if you just mask them, then you can force some light through the plastic if you want those lighted. So that's what I would do on the 1400. So on the 1400, that goes to Wonderfest. That will probably be the clear kit, I think. So I might force some light through to those windows. The 1400, that is just the two-color scheme being done in the opaque kit. It will be, they'll just be blacked out windows. Hopefully that answers your question. My question is, how do you pronounce your screen name? Is it a unique spelling of thunder, or is it thunder? That's my question to you. Thunder or thunder?
Now, I'm wondering if you had the clear kit, would it not cause issues if you sand down too much to get rid of those windows? Would you not be better off like filling with like UV resin or something?
You'd still have to deal with sanding them down because you're never going to get that filled in flat.
Right.
And it's gonna be very tough to fill those in with the UV resin. Now, I mean, you could just go with the molded windows if you don't care about it being accurate, but that's not something I could bring myself to do. If you want to see some really well done 1400 scale rim windows, check out check out Wayne's 1400 build for motion picture miniatures. He did a really good job of building up those rim windows with paint and masking them off and doing that. Now, I'm not sure if he used if he was using the clear kit, the translucent kit, or the opaque kit, because there's the 3 versions of it now. But whichever one he did a really good job on that.
Thunder says, "Hey, it is a derivative of Thunder. Appreciate that the advice and input."
No problem. Thanks for being here on the live stream. Time for a tea, Earl Grey, hot refill. You know, Hagen did such a good. Like, I've still got this up on my other screen. Hagen did such a good job on that. I would actually go to his photos for reference because he did such a good job on that.
Oh yeah, that's just phenomenal to look at that.
Now he's got a Marshall Models Enterprise B that he's going to be doing as well, which means he's going to be going through the R&D on the differences of the paint scheme between the Excelsior and the B, which I'm also looking forward to.
Now, I need to check. I think I've heard that Hagen has some photos of the Reliant studio model.
I'm not sure. You'd have to ask him.
Yeah, I need to check on that. I'll have to chat with you later about how I could get in contact with him.
Oh, right, because you don't have Facebook, do you?
I do not. Unless you just want to let him know for me that I'm interested if he has any photos that I'd be able to look at. Because I know, I'm pretty sure it was Will at the Instant Share was saying that he managed to get some photos from Hagen.
Yeah, I can definitely message him and ask.
I would appreciate that. Thank you.
Or if he pops into the stream at some point tonight, you can ask him yourself.
Yes. So I'm looking at those gaps you're leaving. Is that where there's windows that are still good, or is that where there's just no windows?
That's where there's just no windows.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's sections where there's no windows in the studio model, and I believe...
Was there thrusters there or anything?
Yeah, all of the thrusters are in areas where there are gaps.
Right.
I had to look at the other one to see where the thrusters were. That's something that I did mention to Helios. So I mentioned that to Daniel, and he indicated that that would be a good thing for them to add, because they didn't make this kit with the thruster parts in the saucer rim.
Right.
So he said that's he indicated to me that should be an adjustment they can make before they produce the new kits. So hopefully version 2 of the kits, you won't have to mold those in yourself. Not that it's the end of the world to mold them in yourself, but it'd be much better if it's already molded into the kit. Because the rim is all part of the top saucer piece, which I like. I like that it was constructed that way, rather than the seam being in the sensor band, because that's a nightmare, especially on the Don Shoko kit, because you have to sand that thing down significantly. And then if you don't get it sanded down perfectly flat, you've got some issues to deal with. So I appreciate the way the kit's been constructed, but it wouldn't be very difficult for them to add the areas for the thrusters, given how the kit's been constructed. So I'm just putting my thumbnail underneath so I can see the gap between the edge of the rim and where the window is, because they're not supposed to go down all the way to the edge of the like all the way to the sensor band. There's a small gap, but it's very difficult to see. So I just put my thumbnail underneath so I can see that there's a black gap between the rim of the saucer and the bottom of the window.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Were you saying that with version 2 of the kit too, they're saying it might be easier to actually put some lights in these rim windows?
No.
No? Okay.
No, that's not going to be possible. Because of the way it's designed and constructed.
Right.
The way that the saucer goes together at the rim, it's very solid in here. So there's no way to get light there. And really no way to get those windows open.
That is unfortunate, but I mean, it's something you can live with, so.
Yeah, just a limitation of the kit. I mean, the kit does a lot of things well. And there's other things where you have to make adjustments or make do or take some creative liberties. But that's true on any kit. No kit is perfect.
No, not yet. There's some that are really good.
Which always
there are some that are better than others.
Which always makes me shake my head when people bellyache about having to do work on a model to make it right. Because to me, that's kind of part of the job.
Well, that's yeah. For me, that's what the
what
hobby's about.
It's what we've signed up for, right?
Yeah.
I think it's incredible to have access to the starting base for a project of this size. And with that comes, you have to make adjustments and work things out and work through problems.
Yep. Although I hear that, the Refit Enterprise is from Tomy is going to be out in November. I don't know if you watched that video on Tested.
I have not. I'm not really interested in the Tomy stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd rather build it myself.
Yeah. On the latest, I was just because I was thinking that for someone who doesn't want to build it themselves, that is an option, something like the Tomy kits.
Mm-hmm.
And they were actually looking at the new D7 Klingon D7. Apparently, there's 2 versions now that are going to be done. So there's the one that's all gray, and then there's the one that is more like what you saw on screen with the gray and the greenish gray.
So as much as I feel that Star Trek is a period piece and should be treated as a period piece, meaning that if you're placing a show in the time period of the original series, it should look more like the original series. But I also feel that the ships from the original series are just way too plain to be realistic.
Well, yeah, they were limited by the technology of the day and
Yeah.
budgets and everything else.
Well, they were having to pioneer a lot of how they did the effects and stuff, right?
Yes, exactly.
And pioneer them on a shoestring budget.
Yeah. I believe some of them even had reflective pieces of reflective like tape to just reflect light back at the camera to make it look like lit windows. David James says, yeah, that Tomy refit looks surprisingly damn good, especially for $700.
Yeah, I couldn't build you a refit for $700.
No, for sure. Blair says he should really get a license. These kits are pretty epic. It would be brutal if they got shut down. Surprised CBS hasn't sent hate mail.
Well, I think Paramount CBS have bigger issues right now. But once, I'm assuming he's referring to the Helios kits.
Yes.
But once the whole Sundance Paramount thing settles down, it might be a different ball of wax.
And Blair then said, yeah, not sure what I should expect from that Tomy. Yeah, and the reason they had two D7s, they were saying on the video today, I was watching there, Andrew, they were saying that one is the gray that was painted to be what the studio model was, whereas the other paint version is what you saw on screen due to lighting.
Yep.
So that way they're doing both and a person can decide which version they want.
And that's a perpetual question when you're building a model, right? Do you build it to be the studio model, or do you build it to look more like what it looked like on screen? The problem is the studio model could look different on screen at any given time.
And very true, especially when they use several different studio models.
That's true too. Because there's no true one Canon for the Enterprise D.
No. You had what, the 2, 4, and no, it's a 4 foot, a 2 foot, and a 6 foot, yeah. Blair says he got his FE, I'm sure who FE is, medical tricorder. It's unreal quality. And he said, my D plaque just arrived. Haven't opened it yet.
Nice.
Yeah, I agree with you, David, on that one. David says, I really wish Polar Lights Round 2 would release a 350 D7. Yeah, I mean, that would be, I would agree with you on that. It wouldn't be that much in compared to, the price of a Tomy kit.
Honestly, though, they're more likely to release the Strange New Worlds D7 than they are the original series D7.
And there we have it. But yes, it would be a nice companion piece to go with the 350 TOS they have. And then all they would need to do is a 350 Romulan Bird of Prey.
They could do a 350 Pike Prize.
Yeah.
Although there's some scaling issues with the Enterprise from Strange New Worlds. Some uncertainty around the size of it. How are we doing on time tonight?
You are sitting at 1 hour, 17 minutes in.
All right.
Yeah, Blair says it's a great time to be a collector.
Yeah. Well, and there's the prop store auction that's happening soon.
Beginning of September sometime, I think. Tested was also doing some with Adam Savage there, and they were showing off some Star Wars panels and stuff.
Yeah. There's if I had unlimited money just to be able to spend on what I wanted, there's a couple of things I'd get from the auction. Blair is sending me some pictures here. Let's see.
So when he said he got his FE medical tricorder, I guess that's factory entertainment.
So I think that's the case that came in.
Oh, that's nice. Nice looking packaging.
One moment. And
wow.
There's a tricorder. Medical tricorder.
So was that a limited release, or was that something they're offering fairly regularly?
It's got a number.
Oh, yeah.
It's a numbered item, so must be limited. And look what microphones he's got.
Yes.
Looks familiar.
Blair says, yeah, the Rezacan flute is currently $250,000 US. That auction is getting nuts.
Here's a look at the
yes.
Why can't I zoom in on it? Oh well.
It's amazing how, yeah, some things go crazy at these auctions and other things don't seem to generate much interest.
Yeah, if I just had money to spend, which I don't.
Yes.
I would seriously look at some point picking up a screen used, or a couple, like the variations of the screen used phasers from TNG DS9 Voyager.
So the more squared off ones, not the rounded dustbuster ones.
Not the first two season TNG, but
right.
the ones from there. So like there's the clunkier one that they moved to after the dustbusters, and then they streamlined them as they went through. Because it'd be nice to have like some screen used to get measurements and everything from. The other thing I would love to get my hands on are screen used comm badges, both the TNG and the redo for First Contact DS9 Voyager. And the other thing I would love to get my hands on, again, if money was unlimited and you didn't have to worry about that kind of thing, is the study model for the Voyager concept.
David,
I've always been fascinated by that model.
David said, I would love to have that Genesis device prop in the corner of my living room.
If I ever, now I've taken all of the pictures from the auction for that Voyager prototype study model. So if I ever get into designing my own 3D stuff, I will probably try my hand at reproducing that for a 3D print. But on my budget, I'll have to do it from pictures.
Howard says, well, someone could win 700 million here in the US tomorrow.
What? 700 million?
Someone could win 700 million here in the US. Who knows? Maybe they'll buy you them. So I'm guessing that meant you bought some lottery tickets there, Howard.
700 million is ridiculous, and that's like $1 billion in Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
I think our lotteries here only I think the largest lottery we ever get around here is about 80 million Canadian.
Yeah, which would be nice as well.
But Canadian winnings of lotteries or game shows are not taxable.
Yes, that is the nice thing. You get to keep it all.
So if somebody wins $80 million on the, or what is it, on the Lotto Max, then they get to keep the $80 million.
Yep. They only start getting taxed on whatever interest they earn. Yeah, whereas the U.S. lottery, you either take it in installments or one lump sum. Either way, you're getting taxed.
Yep. Now, of course, you'd have to play the lottery to be eligible to win.
Yes, very true. I haven't played the lottery in the whole. I can't remember when the last time I played the lottery was. Blair says, "Wonder what CBS is going to do with the newly refurbished Forfeit D. Got to display it."
Well, maybe it'll go on tour. Hopefully, it's not stuck above an oven in a restaurant. Whoever did that should be taken out and given a stern talking to.
Canadian style.
Fed to the mooses. No, left to the mercy of the Canada geese.
Oh, that's even worse.
Well, I'm halfway around. So I'm just working on the batch of I'm working on the 10 forward windows.
Yeah, I was about to say, you got to be right at the 10 forward area now.
Yeah, that's where I am.
I was just rewatching some people doing the 132nd TOS bridge builds the other day.
Oh yeah.
I was getting into the feeling that I wouldn't mind doing one. I've got the kit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind doing like pulling a Jody though and modding it and doing two turbo lifts.
Okay. See the blah, 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 blah. Like the bridge set isn't something I'm overly interested in myself.
Right.
I built it when I was a kid, and the box top for it's on my wall over there.
I built the old one where it didn't have all the walls.
Yeah.
Where it only had was it like 2/3 of the walls?
Alan Kelly's here and just says motion picture miniatures.
And then period.
Yeah. I'm not sure if he's saying that that's the definitive reproduction of the prize.
Motion picture miniatures, period.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, welcome to the stream, Alan. Dash says, well, yes, but it'll probably be New York, California, or Florida, and sometimes Maryland that seems to win the Powerball. It did last year get to $1.5 billion. Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy. I always think it's probably not a person that needs the money. Yeah, who knows? That's 2.5 billion. Like, but honestly, who needs 2.5 billion?
I mean, yeah, even if the government takes, what do they take, like 30% or something like that? Even if they took half of that, I mean, yeah, you're set.
If a lottery's getting that high, how many people are buying it?
Well, that's the thing, right?
And then
go ahead.
Maybe multiple people end up winning it, and so it's split between like.
Yeah, and some places like people who work together in an office will all pool in, right? So sometimes it can get split, between 20 people that way even.
But can you imagine owning a company, owning a small business, and your employees have all gone in and they hit that, and suddenly you lose all of your entire employee work base?
Yeah.
In one foul swoop? That would be ridiculous.
Well, hopefully you were a nice boss so they remember you at least.
Or you're the one employee that forgot to put in your money for it that week.
Oh. Yeah, I can see someone going to court on that one. Let's see here. David says, yeah, I'd love if R2 released more round 2 released more bridge kits someday. I scratch build Twalk,
the Wrath of Khan
and TNG bridges years ago, but would love some official ones. Yeah, I would agree with you on that. Like even like a undiscovered country bridge or something like that. Like I was looking at some of the stuff on that as well, and thinking about stealing a few things like the labeling on the bridge doors, that sort of thing.
The undiscovered country Enterprise bridge is probably one of my favorite original crew bridges.
Yeah.
I know. It was a different feel, and I felt it was starting to bring us, just another step closer to the TNG era.
Yes. Howard says it's $7.7 million right now in Michigan lottery itself. They can have $6.5 million back. I'll take $1 million.
So based on what Blair said about it getting crazy, that makes me believe that they're already taking like pre-bids on items.
Well, yeah, that's what I was assuming. Is that not what they normally do?
I don't know how it works.
Yeah, that's the other thing, David. I was also thinking if I were to modify a TNG bridge, I'd also, with the two turbo lifts, I'd probably also try and make a larger display screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the original TOS screen is pretty small.
Just taking a quick break from the masks here. I'm just taking a quick look on the auction site.
Yeah. Blair says, yes, pre-bid is open.
So Blair, are you bidding on anything?
He's not going to say. He doesn't want anyone bidding against him.
Well, I sure can't bid against him, so.
No.
Everything on the auction would be above my price range, I think.
Yeah.
if they ever sold like some of the Doctor Who sonic screwdrivers or something like that, I think that would be something that a lot of people would be interested in. But I don't think I've seen any Doctor Who stuff on these auctions before.
Blair says, wife sitting here, sitting right here. So no.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, prices are already stupid.
Oh, I can imagine.
Howard's saying, well, if I win the 700 million, Angie, I'll have enough left after taxes to come visit you in Canada, and HTM can have a lifetime StreamYard subscription.
I'm gonna type keywords Star Trek rather than trying to. Let's see. I did keywords Star Trek. Oh, there's the Genesis device.
Yeah.
There's the damaged secondary hull from Wrath of Khan. A Kirk uniform. It says the motion picture, but I don't think we saw any phasers in the motion picture. This is definitely Wrath of Khan.
No, we did.
Did we?
Yes, when security responded to what's her name there when she came back after being taken over by V'ger.
Oh, okay. This is what I'd be super curious in.
Right.
But it was already on auction before, and it didn't sell. So when it was on auction last time, I downloaded all of the pictures because they've got a whole pile of pictures here. So I downloaded every one and saved them so that maybe sometime down the road, when I get into like the 3D design side of things,
yep,
I might try my hand at creating a printable version of this that I could build into a kit because I like the design. I don't like the coloring on this study model. It's a little bit too bluey dark for my liking.
Right.
But I like the concept of it. So I think it would be really cool to try to reproduce this someday.
Yeah.
Let's see what else is there. Oh yeah, the flute. Oh, how much? Yeah, I doubt this is going to sell again. I just don't think it's going to sell for what they're asking for it.
Right.
If it doesn't reach the minimum amount,
the reserve,
it does. Yeah, it doesn't sell. Right. So the flute, the stupid flute, it doesn't play. It's just a prop. I think if it played, it would be more valuable.
Yep.
But it doesn't play. So it was just a prop. There's some uniforms. Some stuff from Picard. I'm not interested in the old, like the movie. And then there's this bothers me. This here,
yep,
is just a model. It's not a studio model.
Right. Yeah.
So like, what's it doing? It's not an original thing from Star Trek. It's just a model. It's like, what is it doing in this auction? It's like somebody trying to sell one of these in this like it doesn't belong there.
No pinball machine.
Yeah. Like it's like screen use stuff like Colomini's uniform.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Oh, there's the pinball machine. There's a TNG phaser rifle. You see, like something like this, right?
Yeah, that kind of phaser.
That would be cool to have, because then you'd be able to then reproduce based on the actual measurements. I'd love to have one of these. I'd love to have like original comm badges to be able to take and get proper measurements from and stuff like that. Because that's all stuff that could be easily reproduced. right?
Yep.
As a builder, but it's just getting the proper measurements and designing and stuff off of it.
Tommy says, been listening while I made parts for the X-Wing.
Very nice.
Howard says, I was waiting for round 2 to release the real spaceship models that had cutaways. And he says, I'll have to show you guys my new hoodie when it arrives. And then he was asking, what auction is this?
It's the prop store auction. Prop store here. So it's prop store auction, and it is propstoreauction.com. And I mean, I can't buy anything from it, but it's really interesting just to look through to see what's there. There's stuff from Star Wars, Star Trek, Ghostbusters, Indiana Jones, like all kinds of stuff. Men in Black, so much pop culture stuff.
Yep.
Up for sale. So
David says, yeah, I don't understand the random TOS and refit models in there either.
Yeah, to me, it doesn't belong there. If it wasn't on the show, it doesn't belong there.
No.
Just refilling my tea, Earl Grey, hot. Now, I've got to admit, I didn't think this was going to take me all stream just to put these masks on.
Yet here you are with about 20 minutes left.
But it's just because I forgot how tedious it is doing it. So yeah, if I can salvage any of the ones on the upper saucer, I'm going to do that. Definitely an advantage that I've made these masks myself, and so I can always get more.
Yeah, no hassle. You don't have to wait for someone to mail them to you or anything.
Because in fact, I printed extras for myself when I did it. Many more than I needed, knowing I'd have to redo some of them. So with Jody not going live tonight, is somebody else going to take up the slot after me tonight?
That's a good question. No one's mentioned anything other than Howard mentioning the NASA stuff.
Trek Yards live tonight or something like that? I'd send everybody over to Trek Yards if they were live.
Howard said, wasn't there a scene someone was playing pinball? Like, wasn't Data playing in one of the Royal episodes? No, I'm just wondering, was there a pinball machine in First Contact? At the camp, there was a jukebox.
There's definitely a jukebox. I don't know if there was a pinball machine.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good shout, though. Be worth checking out.
Yeah. Because that would be a pinball machine that, yeah, was screen used. Howard says, I have a feeling Paris would have replicated one in Voyager. Yes. He did replicate, didn't he replicate a TV?
He did. An old black and white TV.
Yes. I can't remember watching sort of like Frankenstein-esque kind of monster movie thing.
He watched cartoons on it.
Yeah. I think I remember him eating popcorn while doing so.
Yep. The episode where he and Chakotay get lured into that planet. Like where they went to that planet and they get lured into being part of a war, and so they're remembering what happened.
Yeah. Howard said, by the way, see, I didn't cheat. I got first.
Oh, I can't see those on.
Yeah,
on
we don't see those in
StreamYard.
StreamYards. And then Howard said, oh, yeah, maybe. I think he's referring to the pinball machine. And then Blair said, LOL, I see that, Dash.
Yeah, number 1. He's got the purple number 1.
There we have it. And he didn't have to quote unquote cheat. And Blair says David is number 2.
I'm not sure I'm not sure how YouTube calculates that.
Yeah.
Seems like it weights things weirdly.
Do you have any bipolar LEDs? Probably not. The amber blue ones.
Bipolar?
Yeah. I ordered some.
I don't know. I think all my LEDs have gone through therapy.
Okay. No, I ordered a set of them for our Reliant build.
So, are you talking about the ones that shift between the blue and the amber?
Yep.
See, I would just use address like color change, like RGB addressables.
Yeah.
Because you can do all that with the addressable LEDs.
Like, can you do that with just using an Arduino or?
Yeah, you can do it with the Arduino. You can do it with Andy's system.
Okay. Maybe I'll mention that to Jordan. So maybe if he wants, he can go that way. Because I ordered the set from HDA, and apparently that was the last set they had. So they're ordering more in.
Yeah, you can do basically anything with the addressable LEDs. It really makes the way we used to approach lighting obsolete.
Right.
Although obsolete in the fact that there's newer, better ways to do it.
Yep.
But there's still going to be a whole pile of people that are just going to stick with what they're comfortable with and what they've always used.
Yeah.
Which is the same with everything, right? Whenever there's change in technology, you're always going to have some people that are going to be less willing to move over to the new thing than others.
Howard said, "Oh, Ken, Andrew, don't tell Ian there's Airwolf stuff on this auction." Okay. Yeah. See, I just went with the bipolar amber blue lights because that's what Will was using in his build. And I thought, oh, that sounds easy. So I went to HDA Model Works, and they were like $2.95 for 10 of them. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'll buy that.
But do you have a board that will control that?
He said, yeah, the Arduino will do it.
Okay. Are you using an Arduino?
Yes.
Are you learning how to program it?
No, apparently Todd's going to program it for me is what Jordan told me.
Okay.
But, and then he's going to help Jordan learn how to program.
I'm sure they could create some content out of that.
I'm sure they could.
Well, there's the content creator side of me thinking about how we could create content out of
learning. David said, yep, I only got comfortable with old-fashioned LEDs and strip lights. Yeah.
Well, at work, we're going to be moving over from traditional style speaker wedge monitors on the floor.
Yep.
For our bands to in-ear monitors. And I know that we're going to have some people that are going to find it challenging switching from speakers on the floor to having everything in their ears. And it's just because people are comfortable with what they know and what they've used for years.
Yeah.
So myself and a few others are going to be the guinea pigs for our sound teams to learn and kind of dial everything in, so that we're not going through those teething processes with people who might be more resistant,
Right.
or cautious about changing technology.
Well, see, for me, my first lighting kit was just my TIE Fighter build, the Studio Series 1. And that was just a few LEDs and a on-off switch and a momentary switch or whatever for the lasers to fire. And then when I get back to it, the Bird of Prey kit is a actual kit from Tenna Controls, and then this Reliant is an update, to that into the Arduino world, and then the Excelsior for me will be another step forward. So I'm kind of going through all the stages here, it seems like, in rapid succession.
So Dash, in reference to Don't Tell Ian, also says that there's Ghostbusters stuff. Yeah. Dash also says, if I got the 700 million, I'd have to build a second building for the junk. I mean, props.
Start your own prop museum.
Well, our learning content never took. Yeah. The learning content didn't take off on Discord. If I suddenly ended up in a situation where we as a family here were independently wealthy and didn't have to worry about money, probably upgrade our house and in the process upgrade the working space.
Hey Todd, I see you're here. Welcome.
Todd's here.
I have
hey Todd.
Question for Todd.
Ken was just talking about you.
Yeah. For our buddy build, Jordan and I, we're doing. I guess I managed to get a hold of those red, and he says, "Hey, that's what I'm doing." The blue/amber impulse crystal light. I've got that bipolar light, and then I was thinking, Andrew was thinking that he could also maybe use an addressable LED, and is that something that could be programmed in for Jordan to use on his version instead of waiting for some more bipolar LEDs to come in? And Todd says, sure. Well, that's good. We'll have to let Jordan know.
Where are my LEDs? Where are my 5 millimeters?
Did they do 3 millimeter addressables?
I haven't found 3 millimeter addressables.
Okay.
I'm sure they've got to be out there.
My bipolar, I'm getting those 5 millimeter anyway, so.
But yeah, you can get these. So I'm mostly using addressable strip lights, right? But you can also get. Let me mess up my focus again. These. So
right.
Hold on. Please hold. Please hold. So you can get these. So the 5 millimeter LEDs, addressable LEDs, and so they've got four leads on them. So there's the positive and negative, and then there's the data in, the data out.
Right.
So you can make these any color you want, and you can make them fade from any color to any color you want.
Right.
So one of these in behind, like in your deflector, would give you that nice fade from one to the other.
Okay. I mean, that's something maybe Jordan and I could both go for. It would make Todd doing a programming easier. He says there's a RGB library in Arduino. He says, "Are you sure that's RGB LED?"
I am sure I'm sure these are addressable LEDs because I've used them.
He said, "Red, green, blue, and ground."
Nope, those are addressable LEDs. 5mm addressables. My chair is really noisy. I really need to take care of that at some point.
Yeah, I know the bipolar set that I had ordered has 3 leads coming off of it. One for each color, and then like at the ground.
Yeah.
But I mean, just going for an addressable, I mean, that would work too. And just have it fade up from amber to blue, and then back down from blue to amber.
Well, and actually, you wouldn't even need to get a 5mm. You could just as easily just take one of these off of the strip.
Right.
That too, right? Same thing. Just SMD versus LED. So is there anybody else streaming model building tonight?
Very good question, Todd. Do you know if anybody's streaming or model building tonight? Either currently right now or in the next 5 minutes when Andrew's stream ends? Because we know Jody's gone camping. Only Todd says, I don't think so. Yeah, Todd says he's currently designing a new lab and a new house around it. That is the nice thing about living in areas where your houses have basements, though, because that is so much extra space afterwards.
Well, at some point down the road, I'd love to have a standalone building.
Yeah.
But that's nothing for any time soon. And anytime all the kids are young, I can't afford to not have my workspace attached to the main house where I can hear what's going on.
Right. So that's at least another, 15 years?
But I'd love to have a large workspace with a huge table in the middle, all cameraed up above in the different workspaces, like a big square table where I could have like 4 different workspaces and cameras above each of those the 4 corners of the big desk, and then have specialized workstations all around the perimeter
for like spray booth and everything else.
Yeah. Spray booth. Have like the belt sander, drill press.
Yep.
A welding station, like all the different stations.
Yep. Todd says, that's what I'm going to try and do.
And then I'd love to have a loft, like a mezzanine loft, above one end, with like another workspace or
little kitchenette,
or,
make tea.
Yeah. Technically,
let's see here.
And if you do that, you could build it so technically it could be considered like a granny flat or something.
Yep. Just put a little what do they call those? Just one of those little foldable beds in there.
Yeah.
Todd says a main build area with good lighting, but electronics, paint booth, and mechanical stations.
Yeah. And a proper and a proper permanent place to do like intros, outros, live streams, that kind of a thing, right?
Yeah.
And have a permanent live stream setup at the various different workstations, so that you're not having to set up on the go. All right. Well, I've not made it all the way around, but it is getting to be that time.
Yes.
So I'm going to move the desk over and drop my main desk back down. There we go. All right. So I'm just going to see if there's anybody doing anything right now.
Todd says one wall of the new lab will be my IKEA bookcases with all of my builds in there as a face cam background. And Alan Kelly says, can you tell me where to view this auction?
Yeah, propstoreauction.com.
And Howard said, you guys are basically describing my building.
There you go. There's a link. propstoreauction.com. Yeah, I am not seeing anybody who's live. Trek Yards is not live. Trek Culture is not live. Yeah, so I think we're just going to end the stream the normal way tonight. So hope that you've enjoyed the stream. Oh, what's that, Blair? And I'm blurry. Is that better? That's better. What's that, Blair? What's going on?
I think maybe that was an exclamation at all the lab talk.
Oh, maybe. All right. Well, hope you've enjoyed the live stream, everyone. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to my channel or you haven't done so yet, hit the subscribe button today. It'll make me very happy if you do. But for now, my name is Andrew. Your producer tonight has been Ken. Have a good night, everybody.
Take care.